What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick. Man, y'all seen the picture, y'all seen the thumbnail, y'all know exactly why y'all here. BTS, come back home. If this is your first time on the channel, please stop what you're doing. Hit that subscribe button, become a real redeemer today. For more content like this, jump on the Patreon. We have exclusive BTS content up on there. Not gonna lie, I remember Come Back Home when we did, I think, like a live performance of this. But I don't never remember us reacting to any music video from that BTS like remake of I guess Sosaji and the Boys Come Back Home from the '90s. So yeah, we can jump into it and have a little conversation when we are done. See what's up with the what's up. Let's turn this up. Let's give it the respect that is due. Let's make sure we up here on the highest quality. Closed captions on. Love the angles. Let's come back home. Hey. I met a Joker. That's fire. Burning all the pills and shit. That's hot. That's hot. Those ad libs at the end. Symbolism at the end was beautiful with sort of the old mixed with the new. Because on the cassette you got Sotaji, Come Back Home, clearly the original side A. And as soon as they morph kind of everything over, got BTS, Come Back Home. I'm assuming side B. I'm gonna look up a little bit more of the backstory on kind of what the song was talking about. What I will say is it definitely feels like a message to the youth and to whoever is probably going through something. A lot of the camera angles or early on were Dutch angles and kind of like those wrapping around angles, which means that something is off. Whether it's your psyche is inverted or your world is on tilt, that means something is like not right. And it's a good camera trick that we use to kind of make the audiences feel displacement with reality. And you can use those things for mental health. You can use those things for depression and everything as well. Not to mention that there's a lot of glitching in here, which is also like kind of another effect, kind of for like kind of mental disorientation, and also a lot of like those like like and kind of running and chasing the cameras, like it almost has you anxious, and that's what I meant. Like you'll see they wind up Dutch angle in the camera. Look, disoriented, quick cut, Dutch angle. So it's kind of like now I'm a little anxious. It gets you a little anxious and everything. Even he's anxious, kind of cutting up everything, taking the tie off, and then just moving without even the beat being on. You can feel the editing ramping up whatever is about to happen. Which I wonder, is it getting closer to the chorus? I wonder, is it gonna be on beat when it goes, or is it gonna chill? Yep. Stressed, stressed. Pills, and then as soon as you run. So, like I said, and this is a blind reaction, y'all. I'm kind of just giving it out. So if y'all know the backstory, just cope with me for a little bit while I'm kind of just working my way through the MV. This could be talking about a few things. I know within South Korea, as far as people being depressed, especially as far as like the youth goes, and even probably just a lot of young people, test taking, things of that nature, like he's doing here, can be super stressful because those things dictate essentially like your entire life. I know everything is very predicated on like test grades and scores and everything over there, and those set you up for achievements not only in the present but kind of later on with life. So things kind of not being right would lead you to take pills or some other things that probably, aren't good for your body, just to kind of give yourself the edge or maybe keep you up or something along the lines of that. And it was the same when they introduced Shorty. It's decent because with the way the song is, it fit for like creative dance almost, but also gave the illusion that she might be like drugged or something like that, or that something was kind of like off. And then, like I said again, another off kilter shot that's kind of just rotating to kind of show everything is upside down. More static shocks as far as like running and everything to amp up and boost the anxiety. The music video did a very great job of just having you like very anxious and kind of wanting to slow down a little bit. And I feel like it even hurt him to want to like slow down and everything. I like too with the boxer too, because it's given the energy of I'm in a fight for my life. You know what I mean? And quite possibly the fight could be hurting you too, because he had bruises on his knuckles and everything, to where he's fighting so much that it literally hurt himself fighting. So I thought those aspects of everything was dope. I love all the dancing and everything too. It kind of still helped to fit the music video aesthetic of everything. And then the skate park is always just kind of like a youthful thing. So maybe that's here just to kind of paint the picture for the youth and everything, even with the guitar and stuff. It always just feels youthful. That shit look hot. Like I said, another Dutch angle, off kilter. And then the laughter and sadistic stuff, that stuff felt a little Joker-esque when she kind of, I think, smeared the lipstick and everything across her face. That, like I said, kind of giving Joker vibes. I thought that was decent, though. And then the eternal bleeding. Not only did he get his ass kicked and, maybe it's the fight he's preparing for, there could also be life beating you up. Sometimes we feel like no matter how hard we try to run away from situations or how hard we fight, life still just has a way of like beating us up. And maybe that might be a thing. Maybe, life has been so crazy for somebody that they ran away from home or something. And now, so Taj, maybe was saying come back home, or BTS is saying come back home. So all that's interesting. And also what I'll say too is BTS is so amazing at that hip hop stage early on. We talk about this a lot on the channel where we said the formula early on felt a lot like, okay, RM might come on first to kind of start the tone of everything. And then vocal line would consist of two members. It might start with like, JK is kind of always going to have his handprints on like the vocal stuff. So let's say the first vocal run is more JK and Jen. Then insert another rapper. Most of the times it seemed like that might be like Hope to kind of put a different flair on it because early on Suge and RM were so kind of more underground cadence, and Hope was a little bit more of, kind of a different touch to rap. So he kind of would, I don't want to say soften it up, but add like a little complexity to it on the verse. Then after that, you essentially would get, if you had JK and Jen on the first part, you would get V and Jimin on the hook. And then you would insert whatever rapper wasn't there last. And I kind of miss some of that. Like they really was killing some of the traditional rap stuff early on. Not saying that they don't anymore, but more so like the style of how everything is and stuff like that. Early on was so hip hop. I wanted to pull this up real quick to see maybe if they had a wiki or something to. And wikis aren't always right. Come Back Home is a song by South Korea boy band Sotaji and the Boys from their fourth and final self-titled studio album, which was released October 5th, 1995. The group's foray into gangster rap. Interesting. The song's lyrical content addresses societal pressures on young people that push them to run away from home, while they refrain convoys the perspective of a runaway's parent. Oh, okay. Following its release, Come Back Home was met with success in South Korea and achieved the top positions on music performance charts for multiple weeks. Won 7 awards. So, okay, Come Back Home was rooted in gangster rap, which you kind of feel. It kind of feels a little like NWA or something, kind of like you kind of can feel it. It provided grounds for hip-hop music to take root in Korea. Its lyrical content revolves around the problem of increasing number of teenage runaways around the time of its release. And Sotaji often ran away himself while he was younger. In an interview in 08, Sotaji revealed that he often ran from middle school and almost dropped out due to corporal punishment in the classroom. He was credited his third-year middle school teacher for guiding him and abolishing punishments in his classroom. Okay, so I'm assuming if they saying corporal punishment, that's back then where teachers can kind of hit you and shit. As long as chorus lines support the perspective of the parents' worries, thereby serving as a sort of mediator between the teenagers and the parents. While the majority of the song was written in Korean, assistant professor at the music of University of Hensel Middle School. English words that would frame the title and reframe. You must come back home served as an attention getter. Representative you. Okay, now that makes sense. That makes sense. 95. Mm. Um, that actually makes a whole lot of sense. Especially with the attention getting as far as like the title, because I think that does work still. Um, that makes a lot of sense. Um, well, first off, shout out to Sotaji and the boys, man. You know, obviously BTS paved the way, especially within K-pop and modern audiences, especially when it comes to social media stuff, YouTube. What they've done for Weverse and what they've been able to do. But I think even BTS, whether it's on here or kind of just all the covers I see, very much hold Sotaji and the boys at a very high regard with what they did for you know the K-pop genre and also just the influences with music that they did in Korea. You know what I mean, coming up in the '90s. So it's amazing to actually see something from the '90s and what was it, 2017, still be such a thing and probably something that still resonates. It's almost like cutting on a MJ song or something. You like, damn, the lyrics kind of still hit because some problems are a little bit harder to settle than other problems. But I love everything that was done with this MV. Shout out to BTS too because they could have easily, put themselves in the music video and did everything. But I think this doubles down a little bit more on what the subject matter was with not having them in the video and just showcasing it through these different people. I also think this was a cool blend of everything. I didn't personally hear like the original, but I'm assuming they tweaked or maybe added something to give it a little bit more of a modern flair. At least that's kind of how it sounds. But I like this a lot, man. I didn't mean to talk your head off or kind of give a deep breakdown, but this was very intriguing, especially for the history behind it. And I'm pretty sure this song might be a very, very important song within South Korea. The same way, America, we have certain songs that are just like staples and kind of our genres of music. So it was super interesting to kind of see all these things, and I think the director and BTS did a very great job of conveying everything on screen. Shout out to everybody. I hope y'all having a wonderful day. Love y'all. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Peace.